My dad cheated on my mom and now wants my wedding jewelry for my stepsister?
You can't just steal that back.
My mom, 55, and dad, 57, got divorced when me, 30 male, and my twin brother, 30, were 13, due to our dad having an affair with our stepmom, 47. Oof. He got her pregnant with our half-sister, and after the divorce, my dad married his wife, who was horrible to our mom, and got even worse when she realized we were never going to see her as a mom in our lives. By the way, this comes from Odd Advantage 27, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
We're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, they had 3 more children together, and my stepmom already had 3 daughters from her previous marriage. Their father had passed away 2 years before the affair, so they were excited to have a new dad. During the divorce, my paternal grandparents were not happy about the affair and did everything to make sure my father and his new family knew they were not welcome. They weren't openly hostile, but it was obvious when we would get things they wouldn't or get invited to things they weren't. So on to the reason for the post. My grandparents, dad's parents, are wealthy. Think old money. In their family, there's a tradition that when you get married, you and your spouse are gifted a set of jewelry to pass down to your children. When I married my husband, we were both gifted 2 sets of diamond cufflinks and a pair of diamond studs, altogether worth about $200,000. They also paid to have our house built when they found out we were expecting our own set of twins via surrogate. I know, spoiled. Now my twin is getting married to his longtime girlfriend. My grandparents are paying for their wedding. They offered to pay for mine too, but my husband's parents paid for it. So that's why they built the house instead. My oldest stepsister, 28, is also engaged, and her wedding is scheduled after my twins. She and her fiance aren't well off, but my dad is paying for part of it. He can't pay for everything because he's still got to take care of our younger siblings, and my stepmom is a stay-at-home mom. Here's where I might be the a-hole. We were having dinner with my dad's family, and you could tell my stepsister and stepmom were upset about something. My youngest brother asked her what was wrong, and that's when she got upset. Apparently, she had asked my grandparents about the color of the jewelry she was getting for her wedding. Now, they don't have a relationship with her or our other 2 stepsisters, and they do not think kindly of their mother. They're only around them when it's a big family event or something for my half-siblings. So they told her she wasn't getting anything, especially considering how she behaved when the affair came out. She made it seem like me and my brother should have chosen her mother over ours, which was not happening. She also asked about money for a house because, again, my father can't afford it. They said no to that too, so her feelings were hurt. Plus, they're not even going to her wedding. I couldn't hold it in, so I laughed, and so did my brother. Later, after dinner, my dad texted us saying we were a-holes, which I can see. So am I the a-hole? And there are some comments. But what do you think?
So wait, he laughed at the grandparents saying she wasn't getting
Yeah,
jewelry.
basically laughed at stepsister
Right.
being upset that she wasn't getting any jewelry.
So I don't think that a laugh was necessary.
Yeah, I think it's like a little bit you are the
Yeah.
a-hole. I get it.
That's why I was like, can you say that again? I feel like I heard him wrong.
Yeah, it's like I get it, but probably not the best. You know, it's like just rising above in the moment. Like, it doesn't make you look good.
Right.
Yeah, you might be justified, and maybe she's a little bit of a, spoiled brat or,
But I mean,
not the best
also,
person.
You sound like you could maybe be a little spoiled yourself, which
Yeah.
you're aware of.
Exactly, but it's like, if we're gonna be, polite people at a dinner party with, family and friends, maybe we don't laugh.
Grandparents.
You got a lot of stuff, girl. You got a
Boy.
lot of stuff.
OP's
Okay, girl
Sorry,
as
male?
in gender neutrally.
as in girl.
Girl, you got a lot of stuff, girl.
You got a house. You got jewels.
Paid for a wedding.
No, they got the house because they
the
didn't
grandparents,
pay for
but
the
their
wedding.
OP's
Oh, but
parents
it
are
was-
paying
it
for
was
the wedding.
OP's husband was
Yes,
paying for it.
yeah, her husband's parents. Yeah, so they're not paying for the wedding or their
And the
house,
house.
and they just got a bunch of expensive jewelry. So,
So like We can hold the chuckles in.
Yeah. And then you can go home with your husband or your fiance and be like, they're so silly.
She thought she was getting jewels.
Yeah. But it also seems like you understand that you're a bit of an a-hole.
Yeah.
Comments. Comment 1. She's your stepsister and not even related to them. They've made clear their disassociation with your step-siblings. How do they get the impression that this is suddenly going to change? It was a little unkind to openly laugh, but if this was sprung in front of you with no warning, I can understand it and to a degree excuse it. OP replied, I think she feels like because they did give her other things, like paying for her college education and gifting her a graduation trip after high school, she was entitled to other things. But the thing is, they never gave her these things in person. They always sent it through my dad. My grandparents have certain boundaries, but they're not cruel. They just like to keep familial traditions to what they call their core family. And they've always been upfront about that, even when my dad tried to make them be involved with them more than they wanted to be. Comment 2 says, not the a-hole. Who do these women think they are? I mean, even if they were better people, she still shouldn't have expected anything, not being true family members. No offense to your family, but that's how old money works. You keep it with your natural family members. So nope, that was funny. I laughed too. OP says, honestly, yeah, some of my friends don't understand when I tried to explain it to them, which I completely understand. My husband understands because his family comes from old Italian money. My dad actually tried to explain it to her when I got married because that's when my grandparents decided to build my house since we announced we were expecting the twins. Plus, I had already had 2 children already that my husband adopted because their mom had passed away giving birth. She couldn't understand why they didn't just buy me a house and kept complaining about how much of a waste it was for them to spend that much money. So that also turned them off to her more. Comment 3, how does your grandparents treat your husband's adopted children? OP says, those are my children from before I met my husband. He adopted them when we got married. Comment 4 says, just because I'm intrigued, so you had a female partner and had twins, or did she pass when she gave birth to your second baby? I'm sorry for your loss also, and I don't mean to come off rude if I do. I'm just, I have a lot of questions out of curiosity. What I'm really curious about is if it's your baby juice for the surrogate. I only ask because, my gosh, what are the odds of 2 sets of twins? Congratulations to you and your husband. I have twins in my family. OP says she passed away after our second son was born from complications from the pregnancy and prior health issues. You don't have to apologize. She was a great person and mother. She actually recorded videos for our sons each year until they're both 21, and her family is still involved with them. Plus, they love my husband as a father for them and a spouse for me. Her mom actually introduced him to me. My former in-laws are the best people. Comment 5 says, sounds like stepmom and her daughters are gold diggers, and when they saw the old money of your grandparents, they thought their ship had come in. Personally, I would tell grandparents this so they can take precautions in their will to ensure that those women never get their hands on a single red cent. OP says, oh, they already have. They were and never will be in the will. My dad has 4 younger brothers, plus my grandparents have a stipulation in their will that dictates only children and grandchildren that are blood related can receive anything from their estate. The only person who's getting anything that's not related to them is my mom, but that's because she's been helping take care of them since my grandfather had a stroke 5 years ago. And there is an update. Dang, these people are rich, man. They're like, no one is putting a single fingerprint on our money.
Give us a drop of your DNA and we'll let you know if you get a house.
My stores of gold are so massive that I swim in them daily, like Scrooge McDuck.
In my swimming pool. Yeah. So that means that out of everybody, like, dad will get money, OP will get money, OP's husband won't get money.
Yeah.
All of their kids will.
Yeah.
And the one singular half-sister will.
And aren't they
But
having
none of
2
the
surrogate kids?
Yeah. So
So
all 4 of
only-
OP.
So all the surrogate kids only get stuff if it's OP's.
Oh my god, wait.
OP's the
That's why
donor.
they asked about
Yeah.
that. Okay. I
don't even
feel
know
like
if they
that has
asked.
to be a stipulation
Yeah.
that, like, that counts. Like, maybe they don't even know who
I
the,
don't
like,
know.
donor is.
Yeah.
Maybe they mixed it together.
Yeah, it's like it's
But
it's
then-
like a Neil Patrick Harris thing, and they're like, only one of your kids get,
Yeah.
and you have to do a test on them.
Be crazy.
Yeah,
Because then it's also, like, out of dad's new wife's family, one kid is
Yeah.
getting stuff.
that's a Wow. Update. So a lot has happened since my last post. I'm thankful for my judgment of not the a-hole. Yesterday, my dad came over with my twin and my stepsister's fiance to talk to us. He decided to ask me if I could gift my set of jewelry I got for my wedding to my soon-to-be stepbrother-in-law. I looked at him and asked if he was crazy, especially when he knew I was already giving $6,000 to them for their honeymoon. How much money do you people have? $6,000. My brother asked him if he seriously just asked such a stupid question. Now again, I'll remind everyone that the $6,000 is my half of the present me and my brother are giving together, so they're already getting $12,000 from us. My brother reminded my dad about his set of cufflinks he got for his wedding, from his wedding to our mom, and said he could give those to him if it's that important. My dad said he's already paying for their wedding, so he shouldn't have to give them anything else, and that this would show how much I care on top of the honeymoon gift.
OP doesn't care.
Yeah, I said that's not happening, as I plan to let all my sons wear them when they go to their respective proms and gift them to my oldest son when he gets married. I told him he was out of line trying to take from his grandchildren, as he knew my plans for them. One thing about my dad is that he loves his grandchildren, especially my oldest son, who's in his sophomore year of high school. He instantly started to apologize, and the whole time my soon-to-be stepbrother-in-law was sitting there looking embarrassed because he clearly had no idea what my dad wanted him there for until he started talking.
I didn't know that he was in the room.
Rough to be like, I don't want them.
I don't want your jewels.
I don't want them.
I'm not taking from your kid.
It's fine. But you know what I want you guys to do? Listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
so rich.
Y'all are really rich.
6,000.
There's really no issue here, though.
Yeah, if the issue is just that you laughed the first time,
yeah,
like, I'm sure she's
slightly
past
rude,
that already.
but you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say like maybe like you're the a-hole. I'd be like, that was kind of rude.
It was just rude.
Yeah,
and
you fully could have just in the moment been like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And you know what?
Sorry.
That we'd be past it.
Yeah, and then right now it's just you told your dad that you're not doing it. You explain why. He's apologized. And stepbrother-in-law didn't even want them to begin with, so we're chill. Y'all are incredibly rich, and we can move on with our lives.
Give them another 1,000.
Yeah, just throw it on top. You clearly have the money. So now I'm starting to feel that this situation is going to get worse before it gets better, especially with my twins' wedding being before my stepsister's. I just told my dad I'll talk to him on Sunday when they come over for family dinner, since it's my time to host. Now he's asking me not to bring it up in front of my mom, grandpa, and grandma, since they'll both be there. I told him I wasn't planning on it because it's none of their business. And after that, I just want this conversation to end. And that is the end of this story, folks.
My father's mistress wanted to come to my wedding, but I refused.
We can't fit ya.
I'm a 25-year-old woman, engaged and getting married. Everything has been going to plan, but my biggest stressor is my guest list. I don't know if I should let my dad walk me down the aisle or even invite him and let him bring a +1. By the way, this comes from Royal C62, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, my mom suddenly passed away when I was 9 years old. Tough with just me and my dad, but we made it work. I was and still am very close to my mom's sister, who basically helped raise me. Through no fault of my dad's, he worked full-time, so she was the one who picked me up from school and took me shopping. My dad came to what he could, and that was fine. Throughout my childhood, I was more than open and encouraging about him dating. I tried to set him up with my friends' moms, who were single, or cute friends of his that he golfed, and nothing came of it. In 2015, while I was on vacation with my aunt, I heard he met up with a woman who was in town. She was his college girlfriend, but they apparently didn't end up together because her father didn't like him. They met up, she gave her condolences for my mom passing away, which seemed odd since that was 6 years earlier. I eventually started hearing him on the phone at night talking to her and would see letters come in the mail with his name on them. No return address, just bright colored cards, sometimes with hearts on the back of the envelope. Eventually, he would be away for the weekend, staying at a nearby hotel. So I asked him about who she was and whatnot. All was fine until I found out she was still married. Her excuse was that they were separated, but living in the same house. Now, I'm no saint, but that sounds like an affair to me. This spiraled into learning that she had a burner phone to communicate with my father, and when she came to town, she would say she was staying with her sister. No one but her sister knew what she was doing. Her marriage wasn't my business, but I told my father, "What the heck are you thinking, seeing someone who was married?" He excused it by saying they were separated and just didn't legally get divorced yet. Sure, that can happen, but does the husband know she's dating? No. I found him on Facebook and saw he was posting like normal, updating his profile picture with his beautiful, amazing wife. So to me, that sounds like an affair. From then on, I said I would not meet this woman, and I wanted nothing to do with the relationship because it was messy. It's not like her children or husband knew about my dad, so why should I put in effort for someone having an affair? When I went off to college, I still had no interest in meeting this married woman my father was seeing. Incident 1. I headed home for a long weekend and received a text from my father saying his lady friend was on the way to the house with her own key and to let her in. This woman that I told you I will not meet is going to be the first person I see coming home from college, and you aren't even going to be home? This spiraled into my dad demanding I just say hi. I heard the door unlocked and I stayed in my room until he got home. Once he did, I was pissed. And we got into an argument about me not meeting this woman. I lived in a ranch-style home with my bedroom at one end and the kitchen at the other with a long hallway. This woman sat on the hallway floor, blocking me from leaving out the back door to meet me. I ran out the front door to my car, where my dad and her proceeded to run out the back gate, hitting my car with their hands and screaming, "Oh, come on!" 2 adults in their 50s were blocking my car, screaming at me to say hello. Eventually, my dad moved from behind my car and I went to my friend's house. Coming back late that night after they were sleeping. Yeah, she slept over. Incident 2. Somehow, his lady friend found my Instagram and tried to follow me, which I just thought was so odd based on our last interaction. But that wasn't the worst thing she did via phone. I received a long-winded paragraph from an unknown number basically saying things along the lines of, "Your mom is passed away, I'm not going anywhere, I'm in your father's life, so get used to it."
So weird. So weird.
I can't
Like,
imagine
how does
saying
she... I just don't understand why she thinks this is gonna help.
I'll spare the details, but the gist was that she didn't understand why I wouldn't want to meet her. I told her, and then she told me to simply get over it. Incident 3. Once again, I was coming home from college for the weekend to my own house, and guess who was there sitting on the couch watching TV? Her. I walked in, went straight to my room, and grabbed clothes because I was staying at my aunt's instead. It was supposed to be a quick in and out. She stood in front of my doorway and said, "So what's your problem with me?" I told her the same exact thing I wrote in text messages to her. You're married, you blocked me from leaving my own home, you banged your arm against my car window, you found me on social media, you found my number and texted me without my dad's knowledge. This turned into an hour-long argument of screaming and crying and yelling. Key quotes were once again, "Your mom's passed away. She's passed away." Referring to me asking her why she took down my mom's photos in the house?
Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
How is your dad okay with this?
Well, I feel like he's like, oh, well, it's been so long, and she probably...
It's been 6 years.
Yeah, well, exactly. But I feel like she's coming at him with this kind of, it's been 6 years. You should take all of this down.
Buddy, you have a 25-year-old kid with.
Yeah, come on.
I can't compete with someone who's passed away. you're a witch. You're a spoiled witch. You're an effing spoiled witch. So with all of that, I told her, I'll see you in heck. Then she called my dad at work to tell him about the situation, and I went on with my day and didn't say anything. He called me, not to ask me what happened or my side of the situation, but to say, how dare I? I'm so rude. I'm so immature. Sir, your 50-something married girlfriend is yelling at a teenager. I thought you were 25.
I thought you were in college. Maybe you're 18.
No, I think OP's 25. I'm like almost positive OP was 25. Because I was going to make a joke at the beginning that
I know that
I was
I'm pretty sure they're in college because they came home from college.
Should I scroll back real quick?
Yeah, we're double checking, folks. I thought OP was in college.
I'm a 25-year-old woman engaged and getting married.
Maybe
this is a flashback to being in college.
Flashback, they're in college. They're probably 18 or 19.
Flashback.
There we go. We're back on track, folks.
Two things can be true.
Yes. We were both right.
Gotta find my spot again, guys. Hang on.
Don't worry. Yeah, I mean, your stepmom's cray-cray, and all of this stuff is just so inappropriate for her to be doing, to be harassing you when she supposedly wants a relationship with you. Right. She can't just force you into a relationship.
The sitting on the floor in the first incident, like,
weird.
All of this could have been spared if dad was just like, I will civilly introduce you, or like, I won't force affair.
Yeah, I won't have, help her have an affair.
Yeah.
I won't force you to have a relationship with a person that you don't like.
Yeah.
I'll let it happen naturally.
I don't bang on your car window.
Yeah, come on.
At some point, while I was in college, she got officially divorced. So, in his head now, all was good, and his daughter would accept his girlfriend as if he doesn't recollect everything that's gone down. We were now running in circles of me still not liking her or respecting her, and him saying he can't have a relationship with just me, but needs us to all get along and be a big, happy family. There have been dinners with him where he's cursed me out and almost left the restaurant. I've tried to go to dinner at my childhood home, and it's awkward. And every time there's something for her to complain about. First, it's just say hi to her. Okay, I did. Now it's, well, you said hi to her, but you didn't ask how she was. Okay, I did. Then it's, well, you didn't give her enough eye contact. I can't win. So, to me, I want nothing to do with either of them if he can't have a separate relationship with his only child. There's been no talk of what happened because whenever I bring up the past, I get told, get effing over it. Why can't we move forward? Maybe because there's been no apology and that bridge is burned. My father and I wish each other happy birthdays and holidays, and that's about it. I see him maybe 2 or 3 times a year, where the conversation always goes to, why can't I move on and just get over it? We haven't spent the holidays together since probably 2018.
I just remembered the initial question was, should I ask my dad to walk me down the aisle? Wow.
No, do not.
No. Get someone else. I mean, you don't have to necessarily.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to have anyone walk you down the aisle, but if you have someone in mind.
Yeah, if you want someone.
It doesn't have to be your dad. We've read a lot of stories where, like, not that you know,
relative or
close
friend.
Relative, brother,
No
friend,
brothers, only child.
Yeah, but like that general idea. So don't feel pressured to, submit to tradition when you don't like this person.
Or something?
Yeah, there's a lot of different options, and the option of just walking yourself.
Yeah, walk down with a picture of your mom or something.
Yeah.
I have no desire to text him or update him on my life because it ends in an F you from him. He's asking about wedding details and assumes he's getting invited, walking me down the aisle, and that she's invited as his +1. I don't think he deserves to walk me down the aisle. I don't know if I will regret not inviting him, but I said I would invite him, and I don't want her there. He is telling me he can consider himself passed away to me if she isn't invited. That's crazy.
If he's choosing
her, that's at that point he is choosing her over you. Don't invite either of them.
You could say I don't have a relationship with her.
Yeah.
I invited you. If you will not accept that, then we can't have either of you at the wedding.
Yeah, and have someone out front because if you invite him, she's coming. I don't want anyone there who doesn't love or respect me, and it's not like either of them do. Also, does she even know your fiance?
I don't know. Yeah,
Like,
you guys have been like pretty much.
not that everyone that comes to your wedding needs to know both people,
But like it
like,
seems like y'all are very low contact.
right. That's crazy. By the way, you know what else is crazy? That you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. We've got a whole bunch of episodes there. There's a little bit more.
Oh boy. I just think that I mean, you literally said they don't love or care about us. And if you believe that truly, then don't invite these people.
I wouldn't invite them.
Yeah.
The second that she's taken down and like disrespecting your late mother is just wildly
Just
too much.
Inappropriate.
He might be my dad, but he picked her, and I don't want her at my wedding. I understand people in relationships want their significant other with them, but not when all this has gone down and you can't put your only daughter first for her wedding. It's always, she would be so hurt to not be invited. What about your daughter's feelings on her wedding day? You know who else isn't going to be there? My mom. He's gone and won't be there, but no, only his girlfriend's feelings seem to matter and not his daughter's. So what do I do? That's the end of that story.
My brother tried to steal my girlfriend, so I ruined his life.
I was just going to say steal the girlfriend back, but sure.
To start from the beginning, I'm the youngest of 5, 1 brother and 3 sisters. My eldest and second sister is married, and both are living in Canada. Then there's my brother Tommy, 5 years older than me. Finally, my other sister is 2 years older and works across town. I'm a 27-year-old man living in an apartment with 2 other guys. By the way, this comes from Conflict Top 5262, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, Tommy is the family favorite child. To this day, I'm not entirely sure why. Rave reviews for Tommy. Maybe it's because he's the firstborn son and more like my dad? You see, my dad always wanted a son and is kind of sexist. Tommy was more of a bully to me than a brother. He would constantly undermine me whenever he saw an opportunity to prank me or just straight up abuse me. When I was 15, he threw a bucket of water on my bed, took a picture, and sent it out on Facebook to all my friends and classmates saying I wet the bed. He pushed me down the stairs once. He told me I couldn't go to his wedding unless I took the role of a flower girl, and this wasn't a joke. He kept this up for months, even sending out wedding invites to everyone but me, until his fiancée at the time, emphasis on at the time, found out, got mad, made him invite me. I'll circle back to her. But the thing he did most was steal from me. Everything I had he would try to take either for himself or just so I wouldn't have it. He convinced my first girlfriend I was cheating on her by showing her a picture of me hugging another woman my age, who was actually my cousin. Stole my PlayStation and my games, my bike, and so on. He's like this because everyone just enables him except my sisters. My father is always saying how proud he is of him, how athletic he was, top of his class, etc. Me, not so much. I was never that athletic in the sense of how my father sees it. I was good at tennis, but my father said that was a woman's sport. I wasn't that great at school, getting mostly C's or B's on good days. I don't share political views with my father or his religious views. For all this, he waves me off a lot of the time. My mother left when I was 3 with some other guy. I have no memories of her. I should mention I'm only a half-sibling to my brother and older sisters, as they had a different mother who passed away in a car crash years before I was born. My oldest sister once told me she believed my mother left because my father always made it clear she was the second wife, that she wasn't as great as his first wife, that he only married her because he knocked her up with my sister. She had enough and ran off with another guy who treated her better. But that's still not an excuse for ditching your kids. So it's just been my dad and the occasional new girlfriend who would break up with him when they saw what an a-hole he was. Now, to skip forward to about 2 years ago, I met this woman who I quickly fell in love with, and we began to date. We got close and started discussing looking for a new place to live together. Her name is Kelly. About 5 months ago, Kelly texted me saying we needed to talk. This was shortly after she met my family when my 2 older sisters came to visit, and we had a family barbecue. When she met up with me, she told me this wouldn't be easy to hear, but my brother tried to hook up with her. And OP said they're like,
yeah, this was expected.
He does that. And she's like, sorry? No, I don't think you heard me. Your brother tried. He's like,
yeah, he's done it before.
He'll do it again.
Probably should have warned you. That's my bad.
Sorry about that. She's been talking with him for a few weeks after they connected at the family get-together, though she saw this as just being friendly, as she'd also been talking to my sister who lives across town. They'd been talking here and there, and he began to flirt, which Kelly didn't really notice at first. Then she thought he was just being playful, then began to feel awkward. He eventually told her that he was a better fit for her than me, that he believed I was a closeted queer man. She was stunned and made an excuse to leave. She told me everything. I was upset, of course, but she was shocked at how not surprised I was. But she was shocked at how little surprised I was, and how, in her words, underreacted. She's a therapist, you see, though she's more of a beginner and doesn't have many clients, as she only got her degree a year ago, so she has a better understanding of mental health. When I told her my relationship with my brother and dad in greater detail, she told me I was conditioned to accept this behavior, and I needed to stand up for myself, not in the be a man for Christ's sake sense, just in a more respect myself kind of way. Thinking back on my life, I really thought about the crap I'd gone through and decided to get revenge. I don't know if that's what she meant.
No.
Gonna be honest with you, I don't know if that's what she meant there.
I really would be surprised if
she was like,
even a first-year therapist said that.
Yeah, she was like, you need to stand up for yourself. And he was like, I need to ruin his life. And she was like, no. I convinced her to play along and to flirt back. She was very much against it, saying my plan wasn't a healthy one. But I decided I needed this, and this was how I would do it. She agreed and began flirting back despite feeling awkward about it.
You just made your fiance do something she really didn't want to do and was highly uncomfortable.
Yeah, not cool, dude. Why are you roping your fiance into this scheme that she doesn't want to do?
Yeah.
You're an a-hole for that.
Yeah. Your brother sucks more, but like,
yeah, but you're an a-hole for
dude.
getting your girlfriend to do something she did not want to do.
Yeah.
Just because you need revenge. We decided we would do this to expose him. They kept this up for weeks as he got less cautious and more spicy in his comments. When asked about his wife, he told her they had an open relationship and he'd been with other girls. I doubt that. They agreed to meet up at a motel for a night of spicy sleep. I showed the messages to his wife, who I always got along with. She was someone who always stood up to him when he was being a knucklehead to me. As it turns out, he's been deleting the messages on his phone so she wouldn't see them, but deleting them doesn't mean they're deleted on Kelly's device. She told me he was leaving on a 3-day work trip, which was kind of true, except it was a 2-day trip. This is the juicy part I'll circle back to. After she got over the shock of the revelation, crying and breathing heavily to calm herself down, we agreed to catch him in the act. Kelly met with him for drinks and dinner before going back to the motel where we set up 3 secret recording devices. This is why do we need all this? Genuinely, why do we need all this? Because she already knows.
Right.
You already have proof.
You have the proof. We don't need to put your fiance in a room unaccompanied with him now.
Oh yeah. I thought they were just gonna like have him show up and no one's gonna be there. Kelly's going for drinks, dinner,
and then
and
back
to the motel.
To the motel.
You're an a-hole. You're an a-hole. What? You're
Why
putting your fiance in a position where she could be, harmed?
Right. When he finds out that this is what she's doing, when she stops, presumably stops before this goes too far, he could really lash out at her.
They came back to the room and he began to touch her, to which she asked if she was sure his wife was okay with this. He said yes, they had an open relationship. She had another boyfriend and all. They began to talk dirty with him, taking the lead. Kelly went to the bathroom to freshen up, and he began to strip and got into bed. She came out and went to the front door where his wife and I were standing, and we walked in. He immediately jumped out of bed in a panic, asking why she was there and being lost for words, something I never thought I'd see in my life. We got into a huge argument with him, accusing me of setting him up, which I did, to be fair. He and my sister-in-law got into a huge screaming match with him trying to deflect and play this off, which is hard to do while you're currently getting dressed. We left. Now, here's what happened after. His wife filed for divorce, and after going through the system of getting lawyers and going to court, she used Kelly's text messages and the recordings as evidence. She even found more proof of affairs with other women when she was moving out. She tried to take his laptop, which she mistook for her own, and he got really protective of it, which seemed suspicious. He ended up smashing it. But she took the hard drive to a technician and recovered tons of recently deleted images of another woman who'd sent him spicy pictures. She ended up getting half his stuff and the house. Thank goodness they didn't have kids. And here's the juicy part I mentioned. Yes, he was supposed to leave on a work trip, but the thing is, he worked for her father's smallish business. That's how they met, as she would work there part-time while in college when he first joined. Well, after what was revealed, he was of course fired. With no home, little money, and no job, he ended up moving back into my father's home. He confronted me at my door one day, and I just reminded him of all the crap he did to me all my life, how he's the cheater, not me, and how he did this to himself. And by the way, what you can do is listen to more full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this insane story, but do you have any final thoughts?
So your brother sucked. Do I agree with the lengths to which you took this? No.
Yeah, especially involving your girlfriend.
Am I happy that you and his wife were nearby the whole time in case anything went wrong?
Yeah.
Yes.
But just like literally so much of the night could have gone wrong.
That really stressed me out.
Yeah.
I have no words. That was kind of weird. Glad you got what you...
Yeah, please go to therapy.
Please listen to your therapist fiance.
Yeah. Yikes. There's a little bit left. This was about 6 months ago, and I haven't spoken to him since. My older sisters said they were proud of me for finally getting him back, and they've been giving me some updates as I don't stay in touch with him and my dad. He still lives at home and works now in another job, which doesn't pay as much as his last job, but he had no other choice as no one was really hiring. Apparently, he's gained some weight and occasionally still badmouths me and his now ex-wife. But that's about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That was wild.